Hi, welcome. It's Margaret Seconet, and welcome to my session today, video session today. We're going to touch on a question that I got from one of the comment section of my videos. So here's a question from Holly Tran with regards to the flying stars charts. So her question is, do the natal charts have different facings? Granted that the numbers are the same, but they have different directions. So it's a great question, Holly. So does the number, is the number the same, and do they have different directions? Okay, let's start with a little bit of an introduction here. I just like to show you a chart here, a slide here. Now on your right, you will see the Loshu chart, which has all the Gua numbers from 1 to 9. And on the left, you will see another chart, which is the flying star chart of a Dui house or west house facing east and sitting on west 1. Okay, so you will see the difference here is that in the chart itself, you have additional numbers. And the numbers that I guess Holly is referring to are all these numbers here that you see on the chart. Okay, so what you see here is like you have three numbers in each grid. So each grid, let's take this center grid here. Okay, so what you see here is this will be the base number, or what they call the time number. Go and or the time star, and this on the left side, the number 1, is actually referred to as the mountain star, okay, or sometimes they call it the facing star. Okay, now this other number here on the right side is actually what they refer to as the water star or the sitting star. Okay, so you have three numbers in each grid, and I think what Holly was referring to is whether this number stays the same depending on the direction and the sitting of the house. Okay, so let's go to the next slide here. What you see here, there's different way of charting. So some practitioners will use the grid chart, as you see here, wherein you have all the base number, you have the mountain stars, and then you also have the water stars for each of the houses. So this is a Dui house again, and they're facing and sitting direction. So if you use a pie charting method, this is what you see. It's basically the same. You will see the numbers are probably are basically the same. You know, you will see that they're actually sitting on west 1, facing east 1, and all the the numbers here, the mountain stars and the water stars, like you see, are all basically the same. I just wanted to show this to you because there are two different ways of charting. One using a grid chart and another one using a pie chart, but they're basically the same. They're depicting the same, let's say, the same Dui house in the same facing and sitting in the same direction. Okay, same location, same direction type of thing. Okay, so now let's get on to another explanation. So what happens here is when you see this chart, you know, it's a flying star feng shui chart of a house, of the house that was built in period A, let's say like this house. So each period house will have its own natal chart, and the natal chart are basically the permanent energies of that particular house. So it's like your birthday. When you're born, you have your own heaven luck, you have your own man luck, and you have your own type of uh, luck, and you know, you also have your own set of pillars. If you're into Bazi, then you will know that there's different animal signs that you can also have. So that's basically what happens when a house is built. they, with the flying star, they take into into consideration the time and space components of the house. And it's not just it's not just the compass direction. I mean, it's not just where the house is built, but they also take into consideration the time elements, okay, and space element, okay. So here, as again, you can see it's a house, a Khan house built in period 7, okay, and a Khan house. This is also Khan built in period. This is period 8, and this is period 7, okay. So as you can see, the chart is different, okay. You will see based on the center numbers, you will know that this is a house built in period 7 and this is a house built in period 8. They will have the same facing, and they will also have, I mean, not necessarily the same facing, but they have the same how do you call this, directions, okay. So a Khan house built in period 7, okay, will have this flying star chart, and a Khan house built in period 8 will have this flying star chart. Okay, a better chart to show you to answer the question would be particularly this chart here, okay. So this is again a Khan house, sitting north 1 facing south 1, and these are 3 houses built in different time. One is built in period 7, this one is built in period 8, and this one is built in period 9. So you will see that each house, even if they're sitting and facing the same direction, basically, they have different, okay, chart. Okay, so you will see here, right in the center, it's already different, okay. Okay, so this is, I'm just trying to share with you some sort of explanation here so that you're clear that yes, the houses might all be facing in the same direction, okay, but based on the time frame on when they were built, they will have different flying star chart or different natal charts or different permanent energies. Now, this is if you go and practice into advanced feng shui, this is actually important because aside from looking at forms, let's say when you're trying to figure out which bedroom to use, which direction to face your bed or whatever, there's other energies in play, and this is what we're referring to, the flying star energies of the house, the permanent energies of the house. So based on your mountain star and also your water star, you will actually be able to figure out which sector of the house is more favorable to you, also based on your Gua number. So there's all this correlation that is happening here, okay. So based on your Gua number, one sector might be more suitable to you, okay, than another, based also on looking at the permanent energies of the house. One of these sector might be actually better than another sector. So if you have a sector like this, 2, 5, and 1, it's actually not that great. So chances are you might not want to, put your bedroom in this area. So if you have a bedroom here, then, you would probably reconsider and maybe not use that as a bedroom, okay. So that's why I'm saying, like, if you look into the form of the bedroom and you try to put your place, sleep in the best direction, there's also another layer of energy that actually is interacting, that is at play here, that is important to consider, and that is the permanent energies of that particular room, of that particular sector. Okay, so okay, now to really answer Holly's question is just by looking at this. So do the natal charts have different facings? The numbers are the same, but they have different direction. I think she was referring to, she asked the question when she was watching my other video on the annual and the monthly and the permanent energies video, I think. So anyway, here's a slide wherein this is a west house, west sitting house, and it's sitting, west, it's facing east. And as you can see here, this is a period 8 Shui house, okay, which means these houses were all built, the charts are of houses built in period 8. Okay, so this is period 8, you can see here, period 8 you can see here, and period 8 you can see here. Okay, but the difference is this house is facing 67.5 degrees. This house is, this house is actually in the 82.5 degree. So this house is sitting west 1, this house is sitting west 2, and this house is sitting west 3. But what you'll notice here is, I think it can give you a bit of confusion, is if you look at this 3 house here sitting west 1, it has a different set of numbers. The mountain stars and the water stars are different. But if you look at this here and this one here, so you can see the red circle, this one is east 1. This one, the two green circles here, this house is facing east 2, and this house is facing east 3. Okay, what you will notice here is that the mountain stars and the water stars and the chart look identical to each other. Okay, so this is basically what you will see with the other chart, period houses chart. Normally the second direction, like the 2 here, like we say the 2 here, and the third direction have charts that are similar. Okay, so to give you another example, here's another chart so that it just gives you. Okay, so this is a can house, so it's facing south, sitting north, and again, look at the circles I have circled here, the red, green, and green. Again, each one is sitting in a different direction. North 1, this one is sitting north 2, this one is sitting north 3. Okay, so each one has a different sitting and facing direction. But you can see here that with the south one facing Kan house, it has its own set of mountain and water stars. Okay, but with the Kan house sitting in south 2, and facing south 2, and facing south 3, you will see that they again have more or less an identical chart. Okay, so this is just to answer the question, do they Holly's question of like the numbers are the same, but do they have a different facing direction? And that's the answer. So you will see that a lot of the number south 2 or west 2 or east 2 or southeast 2 will have more or less identical directions or identical numbers and chart as the one that is facing, let's say, south 3, west 3, north 3. Okay, so it's just a short clarification of that, and the answer is yes, like they can have with these 2 directions here, you can have the same numbers, but they are facing different directions. There's a degree of difference in the facing direction. As you can see here, this one is facing this, sitting between this compass direction, and this one is sitting between the 172.5 to 187, and this one is sitting after the 187 to 02. Okay, so and this one is completely, of course, another direction, sitting in another compass direction. Anyway, so as you can see here from this can house and from this Tui house, it's basically, you know, okay, there's the difference in the direction, but the numbers for these two charts are basically the same. Okay, they're basically identical. Okay, anyway, I hope it clarifies a little bit. Hope it answers Holly Tran's question, or some of you guys who have also been watching or have this similar question. Thank you for joining me, and hope you stay tuned for more videos. I hope I haven't actually confused you more just by explaining this a little bit more in detail. But anyway, thank you again, and it's Margaret saying bye bye for now.